1 second while the camera catches up. Okay, there we go. Apologies about that. Nothing I can really do about that. And it looks like either team not too willing to go ham on the level 1. We do see purple team actually maybe setting up for a late invade. We'll see how that goes. Definitely with the Blitzcrank pull, level 1s are always possible. And it doesn't look like they'll be playing the crane game much longer, as they find no prizes and Blitz backs it up right away. And Akali recalls to make sure that she's not late to lane. That's a wise choice. You can see an early trinket placed by Warwick. And he'll be using that to scout, most likely to see if there is any cheese to be had early. But it looks like both junglers will be starting blue side. And because Wukong is blue side, his bot lane will be first to lane, so they'll have a opportunity to get early level 2. Would certainly be very helpful to them, since Jinx likes to just herp derp push. Akali's probably going to have a rough start of it until she can get to 6 against Warwick. She won't really have much to threaten him with in terms of burst damage, and since she has no CC, pretty difficult. Interesting, Lindsay Jun taking Charm at level 1 instead of the Q. And we see both junglers for the moment just mirroring themselves, seeing that there was no late invades on their reds, so they'll happily take those, and we'll see where they go from there. Bot lane is pushed up for the blue team at the moment. This is kind of getting close to that territory where Blitz kind of likes to make those God Hand hooks under the tower for early first blood, so we'll see if he can get anything. I expect blue team will play fairly safe, and Taric will easily sidestep that. Blitz needs to be careful because that pull will eat up a good chunk of his mana early on. As we see, Robalaba did make a trip towards mid, but Ahri still has her flash. Did lose a lot of her health though. And Kage no Jugoku in a bad spot. As Shyvana burning him down. He might have to flash here. We shall see. The red buff is ticking. Oh, he actually flashes when he was already out of danger. Akali had stopped chasing. So kind of a panic flash right there, but better than dying. And we'll see if he'll be able to sustain up. He burns both of his pots. Should be able to stay for a little bit longer. But expect Shyvana to possibly make a return trip now that he knows that the summoners are down. Aranos doing a really good job of angling his Qs so that it goes through the creep wave and it nicks Ahri, getting that damage. Okay, so both junglers trying their hand at ganks. Shyvana paying off just a little bit more in the early going, burning a summoner spell. And at the moment, CS is kind of even. Ooh, very nice by Aranos. The auto attack will finish it. The fade away, very nice. And he got the flash out of it too. So the outplay by Aranos will give him a nice lead. It'll also draw Shyvana to the mid lane, so the other lanes can play as aggressive as they want because they know that she's there. And Aranos mounting a very healthy lead onto Ahri already, up by over 10 CS. And despite losing his flash early, Kage no Jigoku doing a good job of keeping pushed up. Again, Warwick sustain, very strong. And Akali's all-in potential, not that strong until she hits 6, especially by herself. And so far, it doesn't look like Blitz has really made any big pulls. Shyvana did look like she was coming down. The hook lands onto super awesome, and the choppers go down to cover, but Silverbleed runs up into McDouble's face and convinces him to stop. McDouble doesn't want any more of that. but they do get some very good damage onto Super Awesome. So he's going to have to be careful. And now purple team definitely has lane control. That's going to be some more free damage onto Silverbleed. The Dazzle coming out, not really doing too much right there. Most of the damage had already been thrown out. And we see Lindsey Jun, trying to make a gank onto Warwick. I'm not sure if he knew whether the flash was up or not because it looked like he was trying to read a flash into the bush. But yeah, Warwick's flash still was not available, so that was definitely something that they possibly could have turned on. I mean, Warwick did hit 6 already, so it's quite possible that Akali could have died if they both went. Oh, wow! 3-man. Knock, knock, who's there? Lissandra ulti. And Akali is super low. She's going to have to leave her turret. Very good coordinated dive right there by the blue team. Good rotation. Predicting that Ahri most likely made a trip to top, and once they saw it, they didn't hesitate. Super Awesome trying to position himself behind his own creeps so that Blitz can't get any hooks for free. And Kage no Jigoku basing for his first buy. We'll see what he picks up. We'll see if he goes for the Blade of the Ruined King. Yep, looks like that's what his agenda is. Getting that Cutlass. So, strong start so far for I'm a Hero, coming out of the box with a couple early kills and showing some good teamwork with that dive. That's definitely going to get into the head of the purple team. That's not something that you want to see happen to you when the enemy team just all-ins you with no worry. It's definitely going to put the fear into them. There's still a lot of League left to be played, so we'll see if purple team can make some adjustments. Right now, Ahri looks like she's building towards what looks to be the makings of a DFG. She has the Amp Tome, which will probably turn into a Codex later. And Cully needs to be really careful because Warwick does have ulti. And he does have the Cutlass, so it's a lot of sustain right now. Can't get too happy. But the big story right now is actually the bot lane, Jinx, doing a good job of CSing, staying ahead. And Aranos just continuing to get big, snowballing himself. Good pressure by the purple team right there. Keeping them pinned up against the tower. We'll see if Robalaba decides to pay a trip down to bot lane. Jinx, without her flash, not the most mobile champion. She does have the cleanse for the Taric stun and for the Varus Chains of Corruption. But they still might be able to burst her down. Ooh, Hook is down now, so that would be a really good time for them to go in. We'll see if, yeah, Taric wants to force this. But because he's walking up, it's kind of giving away the gank. So, purple team, good instincts there to just back it up to make sure. We see Aranos catching Lindsey Jun in a bad rotation. The flash forward and a nice Q to finish him off. The auto attacks would not have done it right there. But that Q seals the deal. King Tonberry trying to chase down Aranos. He does not have any summoners, but does not have the damage to finish him. Even with the ulti, not confident that it would have been enough. And we see now that, again, because the mid died, it forces the jungler to cover the lane, which gives Robalaba free time to pick and choose from the enemy jungle. So I imagine he left a nice little blue wolf present right there for King Tonberry. And we see purple bot lane going back for their first buy. BF sword on deck for Varus. And we'll see, yep, BF sword as well for Jinx. Lindsey Jun in a whole lot of trouble right now. She can't even really lane at this point just because of how snowballed Lissandra is in terms of levels, and in terms of items. And just as I say that, ooh, good flash to avoid the W. That definitely saved her life right there, getting out of range of the snare. That would have definitely been another kill if she hadn't escaped that. So, good escape. Super Mega Death Rocket comes down, tries to clip Robalaba in the face. but goes a little bit wide to the side, so he will recall safely. Just approaching the 11-minute mark of the game. Game 1 between I'm a Hero in the blue and the French Toast Mafia in the purple. I'm a Hero, as expected, coming out of the gate very strong. They fought a lot of hard battles to get to this point, and their teamwork has improved considerably since their first debut in the spring. And we see Aranos continuing the pressure up top, and good harass by Kage no Jigoku, going in and out of the turret range, swiping her with Q. Oh, and the all-in with the infinite duress. He wanted to Q, but he lost vision, it looks like. But as soon as that goes down, ooh, very nice juke by, oh, very nice outplay by level 5 Vulpix. And because of that, he gets a trade in what would have been a certain kill for Kage no Jigoku. So very nice jukes, combining the mobility of his ulti and his flash. Really faked him out right there. So well played. And in the bot lane, we see again Silverbleed forcing a gank with the stun. Robalaba flashing in just to make sure, and the EQ spank will be enough to finish it. Lindsey Jun needs to be very careful. He is very far behind right now, so it's quite possible that he could get turned on, but Super Mega Death Rocket does come down, chunks down Silverbleed, forced the flash away. The E coming down for the slow and the flash away from the charm, and it looks like blue team will limp away with only one loss. So a good roam that works out for Ahri. And speaking of roaming, level 5 Vulpix picks up another kill. So they trade 1 for 1 right there. So all of a sudden, purple team starting to put the pieces together, starting to be in the right place at the right time. And they're picking up some kills. The gold lead definitely a lot closer now. The shutdown from the Syndra gave them a little bit extra as well. So we'll see if that takes a little bit of the wind out of I'm a Hero sails. See if it forces them to play a little more safer, a little more careful. You can see both teams with a bunch of wards around the dragon area. It's hard to say when the dragon will be called for by either team. And we see purple team right now shoving up and recalling. Super Awesome has done a decent job in closing the CS gap compared to Jinx. He's now down only by about 10 or 12. So that's definitely doable at this point. And both of them, of course, with an assist. The big difference will be the Bloodthirster though on Jinx. It's a big power spike compared to just the BF Sword and the Vamp Scepter. And we see now that the Unholy Grail finished on Aranos, and he does take down the mid turret. That is a big opening for the blue team in terms of where they can roam and where they can start exerting ward control. It's definitely going to help them if they want to take Baron down. As we see blue team now starting to push up, the Dazzle coming out, and Super Awesome making the most of the situation, getting a charged Q off. And the top lane, we see Kage no Jigoku going to work as he usually does with Warwick, really pushing around the Akali. However, because of the roam, their scores are even. So right now it's just the CS difference that's the big difference maker right now. Blade of the Ruined King has been finished now for Warwick, and we'll see if he chooses to go the patented Bork Wits End build or if he'll go tanky instead. Spirit Visage would be really good for him at this point. The Dragon, Ahri getting caught out, does not want to lose double buffs. Spirit rushes over the wall. Meanwhile, top lane, Kage no Jigoku picks up a free kill. Level 5 Vulpix not nearly strong enough. McNoobles picks up Super Awesome, but Aranos going hero mode into the middle. McNoobles doing a good job of staying on the outside, and he's going to pick up all these kills. This is really, really good for the purple team. Good zap pickup. Oh, and the hook. The God Hand by Anime Samurai. And purple team really, really putting the screws onto the blue team, saying this game is not over yet. So yeah, after that exchange, this game is actually pretty even. There's still a slight gold lead just because of the CS on the blue side, but just a better positioning overall by the purple team. Jayce stayed out of harm's way and came in at the right moment to clean up with her passive and her long range. That was also a good pull by Blitz, just to make sure. But while that was going up top, since Kage no Jigoku did 1v1 Akali, it allowed him to take the tower for free. So we'll see what he decides to do next. It's more than likely that he might just keep going top and just try to draw attention up there. Looks like that's what he's going to do. Okay, so we got about a 1k or so gold advantage. So this game is, for all intents and purposes, very, very close. Neither team able to take Dragon off of that. Let's see Robalba just cleaning up his red. Spirit of the Ancient Golem on deck for both the junglers. And we'll see what they decide to go into next. Looks like Shyvana has the makings of perhaps a Hydra with the Vamp Scepter. Aranos catching King Tomberry by Dragon. And just ease out of there just to make sure. Okay, ping's going down onto Ahri. They know where she is. Ooh, the charm. Almost catching Robalba. Robalba wants to fight this, but getting kited back for a bunch of damage. With Wukong low, it makes his initiation pretty pointless, as he'll just instantly melt after the knock-up. So we'll see if he decides to base. Level 5 Vulpix getting caught out. Not much to say about that. Just easy kill right there. And with Warwick roaming down now and a 4v5, Dragon is a lot more feasible. If a Robalba can time his engage. Good Spirit Rush over the wall. Kage no Jigoku going really hard into 4 people though. He is going to go down. Definitely not worth. We'll see how the rest of the fight pans out. Purple team a little split. King Tomberry trying to go hard for Silver Bleed. But again, McDouble's doing a good job of staying on the outside, getting as much damage in as he can. Unfortunately, not the same result as the last fight. Blue team not quite low enough. Oh, and Aranos going very hard. Even forces the cleanse out. And that will be a nice pickup. However, Akali is coming down, and there are 4 low targets. So blue team does not want to risk feeding the Akali. Solo Q 101. Never feed the Akali. Okay, so looks like Kage no Jigoku's lane pushing definitely paying off, as there's a huge wave up top. Really forcing the purple team to just go up there, push it out, and play reactive. And taking a look at the items now, Super Awesome has completed his Bloodthirster, has the Zeal finished, and is possibly working towards an early Last Whisper, and he'll just sit on the Zeal for now. Makings of a Liandry's Torment for Lissandra, and as we see, level 5 Vulpix, same story, just caught in a bad place. There's really nowhere for him to go. As soon as the Shroud drops, he's dead. And Robalba just covering the side by the tower just to make sure. But level 5 Vulpix really needs to stop getting caught out like that. There's a lot of single target hard CC on this team. So one CC will lead into definitely a whole chain of it. And that will be a free Dragon call for the blue team. Super Mega Death Rocket comes down, but it's a little too early. And with that ulti down, that's also going to make it really hard for them to force a fight for the time being. They're just going to have to try to farm up, play defensive, wait for a mistake at this point. Blue team very firmly in the driver's seat at the moment. Ahri does have the Deathfire Grass completed, but still very far behind the 6-2-4 Lissandra. Jinx has been doing very well all game, but Super Awesome is starting to catch up now, unfortunately for her. And Akali right now is just very, very far behind. Not a whole lot of items to speak of. Lindsey-Jun trying to go hard, but he needs to realize how far behind he is. Q ought to finish this if he has it. Nope, goes instead for the E. Serves two purposes, jukes the pull at the same time. Meanwhile, Kage no Jigoku in a very bad spot, getting caught out by two people. But he's probably not afraid. He can probably turn onto Akali. But meanwhile, bottom action as killing spree for Robalaba turns that whole pick around where it looked like he was caught out. And now Anime Samurai is in a really bad place. They could probably just dive this through, yeah. Silverbleed going first and tanking the tower. And the mobility of the blue team will probably ensure that they catch this. Looks like Robalaba's gonna chase him by himself. Should be more than enough, and as he tells his team to just go ahead and keep pushing. Okay, so she had, oh wow, I actually thought that Blitz would get executed right there, but he still gets counted towards a kill for Silverbleed. Very unfortunate.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
But through all that, level 5 Vulpix does manage to take down the top turret, so that's going to be really good for his team. Get a little bit of global gold going. But the gold lead is still very solidly in the blue team right now. 36.2 to 31k. And we'll see if they keep with their split push strategy, sending Warwick top to draw 2 or more. The skirmishes have definitely been going in their favor so far, the blue team. At this point, the purple team might want to just group up as a 5 and just force an objective elsewhere, knowing that Warwick is always by himself. But taking a look at the items, since the action is... Oh, actually the action has not died down. Silverbleed getting caught out, but she is pretty tanky right now. Not really too scared as Blitz laughs that off and walks away. He knows that he can't really do much to threaten her. So that's a really good spot right now for the blue team, but they probably need to get out of there. There is an Ahri coming as well. Good dodge of the charm by Silverbleed, but the pull does land onto Super Awesome. Super Mega Death Rocket and the DFG gonna pick that up. Level 5 Vulpix is on fire, but not in a good way. The Ignite ticks down and the auto finishes him off. And Aranos will continue to push. Lissandra's wave clear very strong if she uses all her skills. And the damage is still done for Kage no Jigoku, as his lane is still pushing very heavily, knocking onto that inner turret. That Popstar RA recall animation with the music. See Aranos getting pinged out by the purple team. We'll see if they decide to pinch on this. It looks like they might try to go for it. No, pulled just a little short. Couldn't get that in time. Ooh, but McDoubal's not in a good position that time. Again, just an easy pickup. Blue team just out-rotating the purple team right now, catching them overextended over and over and over. Definitely something that they're going to have to work on in the second game. Can't be feeding these free kills. And at the moment, it doesn't really look like the blue team wants to fight. Robalaba does pop his ulti. We'll see who they focus. And it looks like Aranos will be left to more or less solo down Shyvana right there. The Super Mega Death Rocket comes down. Tarek very, very low. And the exhaust almost saves him. But yeah, Lindsey-Jun trying to do his best to get kills back. But again, because he was so behind from the laning phase, all it's doing is just resetting his gold spree and giving more money overall to the blue team.
Turret has been destroyed.
And Infinite Duress is not yet up, so McDougal's will be okay. Ooh, the pull actually lands onto the clone. That was a good activation of the clone there to tank that hook. And the blue team doing a good job of just taking whatever's free. Kage no Jigoku will appreciate that blue. And the dragon will be up in about 15 seconds. So the blue team will most likely have their sights set on that. Purple team not really in a position to fight at the moment. Down 43.9k to 37.1. And Kage no Jigoku thought about going on that, but did not want to bother wasting infinite duress on the support. Wants to save it for one of the carries.
Blue team has slain the dragon.
And we see a free dragon pickup right there for the blue team. And it looks like they're going to try to catch the purple team in a bad rotation. They are split up, 2 on one side, 3 on the other. And they are forced to take the long way around. But luckily for the purple team, Aranos couldn't find the CC. Could not land it. So yeah, coming up onto the 27-minute mark right now. Blue team in firm control, but the Shirelias is activated. We'll see if he times the clone again. Yes, he will. That will be a free out right there for the Monkey King. But purple team finally grouping up as a 5, but they don't have a creep wave yet, so they're going to have to wait. Blue team right now a little bit split. Kage no Jigoku wanted to shove that out, but the call being made to come down and team fight. Right now, Shyvana was a little bit out of position, but she does get back onto the side of her team. You can see right there on the mini-map, though, that the purple side jungle littered with blue wards. So they've covered pretty much all the entrances and exits. As blue team now knocking on the door of the inhibitor turret. Silverbleed getting caught out, but that's not the one that they want to catch. At the very least, they want to try and catch onto Lysandra and try to burst her down. Cully has finished her Hextech Gunblade, but she's still very much pressed for items. She really needs to complete a couple more major items just to catch up with Warwick. Glad to see that he did go for the Spirit Visage. Extremely good item for him in this situation. He's very tanky right now. A lot of sustain. At this point, the Blitzcrank hooks, depending on who he grabs, could be more detrimental to the purple team than beneficial. Just because it would give the blue team basically a free incentive for a Cyclone or something of that nature, depending on who he hooks again. Kage no Jigoku getting spotted out by the Wraiths. King Tomberry knows that it's probably not a good idea to chase the Warwick. Blue team taking this very slow. Not going hero mode just yet. We'll see if they decide to push down the last inner turret in top once they go back to buy. The Zhonya's Hourglass has been completed onto Lysandra, so picking her off now is going to be extremely difficult. The invulnerability on her ult as well as the item will make it very, very hard for people to focus her. And I see the Ravenous Hydra has been completed onto Wukong, helps his clearing speed of the camps, as well as giving him the AD. And it looks like Aranos doing a little bit of exploring, but he does get spotted out by the ward. At this point, purple team kind of not really in a position to force anything. Super Awesome is going to continue to shove out the bot lane. We'll see if purple team responds to seeing him split off. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to capitalize too much, though. Speaking of capitalizing, though, very nice burst combo by Aranos. Ari not really even able to do anything. As the monkey spin to win. And Kage no Jigoku is on the hunt. One more Q will do it. And immediately turning onto a Cully with the infinite duress. And the dragon forced to fly over the wall, but Kage no Jigoku is not done. The catches continue to fly in blue team's favor as they should finish this dive off. But a good flash by the dragon. She should make it out. Oh, but she's running right into super awesome Kage no Jigoku, finished securing the kill, quote unquote. And that's not only a lot of gold in the pocket of the blue team, but a lot of objectives, most likely. Getting the inner turret, getting the mid inhibitor turret, and they'll most likely finish off this turret as well. Still 10 seconds on Akali, 25 seconds on Shyvana. They can keep going at this point. With no towers to protect them, purple team don't really have an answer for this lead.
Purple team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
It would be very ill-advised for the purple team to continue chasing this, as the blue team very well may turn, and it looks like exactly what they're going to do. You never want to chase in that situation. Just allowed the blue team to make a very textbook turn right there. King Tonberry trying to stop Robalba, but he just man-moves that turret down. Knows that he can't really get away at that point because Shyvana can just run him down, so he just stays to get whatever damage he can. But in the meantime, the rest of the purple team did go down. So Shyvana is all by herself, and the blue team will most likely try to end the game here. There's still a bit of time. And oh yeah, purple team with the surrender.